Hello Games is attempting to change everything we think about open world games with Light No Fire, and it looks like we will get more info and details very soon. Light No Fire made its debut during the Game Awards of 2023, and in my opinion, it completely stole the show. Since then, fans and would-be fans have tried to deduce what exactly this game will be like. At the time, tweets from Shawn Murray indicated that it would be an Earth-sized game with oceans and fantasy RPG elements and big chonky dragons and tiny evil skeletons. Currently, the Steam landing page says that the release date is going to be announced, but the info available, if you scroll down, gives us a glimpse, and what they stress is why a recent batch of tweets from Shawn Murray has the gaming world all abuzz. Known for his cryptic tweets that are typically just an emoji, he is at it once again. And the focus on the Steam page is one of the reasons that theories are starting to swirl. The game is described with 4 sections: a multiplayer Earth, a procedural Earth, a fantasy Earth, and an unexplored Earth. Many have been quick to observe this game will likely stand on the shoulders of No Man's Sky, and after 8 years of free updates, I have to say, I trust Hello Games to build something that has learned from everything, from the mistakes, from the challenges, and the triumphs. And honestly, the size and the scope of No Man's Sky will serve Light No Fire's aim to be the first truly open world game. Because Hello Games have essentially built what feels like No Man's Sky 2 within the base game of No Man's Sky. It's almost like they built the sequel to their own game in the base game, and that should greatly serve Light No Fire. But as much as I trust Shawn Murray and the team at Hello Games, I would really like them to just talk to us, even though it is fun to theorize about what all of this means. Now, every weekday here on Reforge Gaming, I tell you what I think about a gaming topic, and then we go to a live stream where I want to hear what you think. So, if you like what you see, hit like and hit subscribe. Shawn Murray is no stranger to barely tweeting or saying anything and having the internet run wild with it. In fact, he has practically embraced the persona, and every time No Man's Sky has a big update about to drop, he just sort of tweets an emoji. And he got the gaming world aflutter with his recent batch of posts. Well, why? Well, he keeps posting different Earth emojis or combinations of them. First it was just one Earth, and then it was 3, and then it was the please gib emoji with the same 3 Earths in order, and then 2 of them were just functioning as the eyes. And he has since been retweeting himself, seemingly enjoying just driving everybody crazy. And if you go to his original tweet about Light No Fire, you get a glimpse into why everybody is thinking that this is not about No Man's Sky. He used the Earth emoji in the original tweet right next to the claim, an Earth-sized game. And I'll show you later in the video all of the different emojis they've used for their updates. They've only ever used the Earth for Light No Fire. So never did I imagine I would be making a video based off of emojis in tweets, but here we are. Well, Captain Steve, friend of the channel, he's actually been posting his own theories about what each of the tweets could mean, and it was Shawn's use of the gib, the gib thing where he's saying please gib. Using that got him really excited, and he said the following: other times Shawn has used the gib have been pretty big updates. Only real questionable time was Visions. Was that big? Some would say yes, but the gib is reserved for the big updates normally. Very excited now. Hype train all aboard. So he sort of cited all of the other times that Shawn has used this gib emoji, and it's like, listen, this is always something very, very big. Clearly, Captain Steve thinks this is in relation to No Man's Sky, but I think we're headed towards a Light No Fire announcement. Some type of a trailer or something, maybe even inside of No Man's Sky. We'll talk about that in a minute. And Games Radar seems to agree with me. They have an article titled Light No Fire Hype Reaches Fever Pitch as No Man's Sky studio co-founder Shawn Murray teases the internet with even more mysterious emojis. In their article, the site says that others are thinking along the same lines. Near the end of their post, they said the following: needless to say, fans are being driven wild. Please be a Light No Fire thing. I need it, one Twitter user writes. With the amount of teasing, it's definitely not a regular No Man's Sky update. Light No Fire? Here we go. Another speculates. So even if this ends up not being about Light No Fire, I have to say, I do get the anticipation. I get why people are really excited. They want to see more. They want to know more. The mystery is sort of almost too good to be true. We've never really seen a game like this, a truly open world game, not a game where there's just sort of sections or sectors or even procedurally generated areas, which is likely how this is going to function since they've harnessed that technology so well in No Man's Sky. But currently, I actually argued, and I actually have said, this is one of my most anticipated games, and let me tell you why. The first and strongest reason that I'm excited about Light No Fire is because Hello Games has earned my trust as well as my confidence. The sheer amount of work that they have done in No Man's Sky is honestly hard to even grasp. Since the launch of the game in 2016, they have done over 30 major updates to the game, virtually all of them being named with accompanying emojis from Shawn on Twitter, and these were sometimes fairly simple, but other times very significant updates that added entire new elements and mechanics to the content and the gameplay loop. To me, No Man's Sky is the quintessential comeback story for video games. They could have easily done the first year or two of updates and just moved on. They would have honored what they had promised people and really built the game that they had sort of initially advertised, but they have gone far beyond what they ever showed us in those first trailers, because they've turned it into a triumphant game, and it feels like the most robust and substantive passion project ever to grace the gaming world. Honestly, I don't think No Man's Sky gets enough credit because we've all just become accustomed to the free updates and the great changes. I also think it's really hard for folks to come back to the game. They might have felt burned by the initial launch, or maybe they're just too disconnected at this point to reconnect. It can be really hard to come back to a game after so many updates, and the expeditions definitely help, but there is a mountain of assumed knowledge that the game has to sort of build upon whenever they do updates or additions. They have to kind of just assume that you know these things. I've actually gone through this recently with Deep Rock Galactic, when screen after screen pops up, like outlining all of the updates, all of the new things I can do, and I don't have that foundational knowledge. It can be really tough to engage and even really know, okay, what's been improved, what's been added. No Man's Sky is likely in the same camp for many people. The game loop itself is already somewhat daunting with space exploration as the content loop, right? I actually think that Light No Fire can be a real second chance for Hello Games. Now, they've definitely re-earned the trust and the confidence, not just from me, but the gaming world as well. The trailer currently has over 17 million views on the Hello Games channel. That Light No Fire trailer did very well. And when I say a real second chance, I don't mean that No Man's Sky has not achieved that, but I think more people will dive in fresh with Light No Fire, and they'll sort of be there at the ground level, and this will lead to a better starting position for the game, and also enable a larger group of gamers to enjoy any and all of the updates and the improvements as the game progresses. Sort of when you're there at the beginning, you can sense how all of those things have been added and made things better. A lot of what No Man's Sky did went unnoticed or not even really engaged with, as the rough launch just pushed many people away from the game and they simply refused to come back. But a bigger question has started to emerge about the two games. Is Light No Fire somehow connected to No Man's Sky? It's hard not to see the similarities between the games, even though the art style of Light No Fire is a little more grounded in real-world appearances, like the mountains look like mountains and the water and the trees, and No Man's Sky is a little more stylized with how planets and animals and the plant life look. It has a little bit more of a cartoonish look, which I actually think is very good looking. It's actually one of the best PSVR2 experiences you can have. They've done really great work. The flying, the exploring, all of it looks phenomenal. But if you look at the promotional art for both of these games, the Light No Fire art looks very inspired by No Man's Sky, the Atlas areas and the artwork especially. Many have theorized that the two games are somehow connected. Some think that we're going to use the glyphs and the portals to essentially find the planet that is featured in Light No Fire, because unlike No Man's Sky, you're not going to be going to a bunch of different planets. It's literally a planet. I actually like this theory, but I don't think Light No Fire will be inside of No Man's Sky. It will be a separate game entirely. There were those theorizing that initially, that, well, we're going to find Light No Fire and it's going to be almost a game inside of a game. I don't think that they would do that. I actually think the way the systems work and the way this game is being portrayed, it will have to be its its own thing. But I could certainly see an in-game event or some kind of a thing promoting the release, maybe announcing the release of the game could be done inside of the game of No Man's Sky. Or maybe they could do something sort of like just to the lead up of the release date of Light No Fire. Like once we know the release date, they could sort of do events, they could do puzzles, they could do an expedition. Kind of like how they've done in-game events in other games. Right before a new game or a season starts, there's sort of this walk up and there's weird things happening. And I'll be honest, that feels very Hello Games if they were to do it that way. Shawn Murray really likes mystique and mystery and leaving clues. He doesn't like to say anything, right? He likes to tweet an emoji. And this is one of the reasons it's been very hard to cover No Man's Sky as a variety gaming channel. It's like, I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know what's coming. And then all of a sudden, an emoji means, well, in a matter of days, there's going to be some big, gigantic free update, and there'll be living ships or lightsabers or jetpacks or monsters. I don't think there's lightsabers, but you get the point. They don't really talk to us. They really like to just sort of drop hints. I could see them dropping clues or hints in the game of No Man's Sky, or they could drop hints and clues to go in to the game of No Man's Sky and figure it out. Maybe it's a puzzle to solve, some type of ARG, or some type of an event that we all have to work on together. You know, it's tracking community progress, and we're all trying to fix something or find something. Regardless of how this happens, I actually think it's very safe to say it's going to happen sooner than later. I don't think this is a long ways off. PCGamesN.com seems to think that the game will release fourth quarter this year. In their article titled Light No Fire Release Date Estimate, Trailers, and Latest News, they said the following. We expect the Light No Fire release date to fall in Q4 2024 at the earliest. The open world game has been in development for more than 5 years already, but given its massive scope, we can't rule out a Q1 2025 release just yet. Now, my personal prediction is fourth quarter this year. I don't think they kept this a secret for 5 years to then announce it and then make us wait a really long time. I think more and more companies are going to start doing this. You're going to see announcements closer to the release date of the game. I actually think this is a great strategy. So then whatever you end up showing ends up being closer to the final product. Truth be told, No Man's Sky trailers look phenomenal, and I think the game looks even better now than, you know, those trailers. But when it finally came out, it didn't quite have that punch, and we saw all the trailers and saw all the complaints. I don't think they're going to handle this that way. I think what we have seen in the Light No Fire trailers is very, very close to the final product. If anything, the final product will likely be better. It'll be improved. It'll look and run even smoother than what we've seen, because it already looks good, my opinion. But I don't think they're going to want to repeat those same mistakes. Whatever stage they set, whatever expectations they outline for this game, I believe they will deliver on that. I do not think they're going to overhype. I mean, you know, obviously Shawn Murray has made jokes about like, hey, don't overhype the game, don't oversell the game. And he's like, I'm literally building Earth. And it's like, oh no, did he already do that? I think he understands the persona and sort of the meme and the joke around what sort of happened with No Man's Sky, and I don't think they would make that same mistake again. I also think if he's smart, he will avoid interviews. He won't be going out here and talking to all these people and answering all these questions, because he may say something that gives the wrong impression. He may get badgered to answer a question and not really give a great answer. I think his role on Twitter and being more mysterious and saying less, I think that has served him well. I think that has served No Man's Sky well. I think it has put them into a position where the game has been able to flourish and grow without coming out and promising a bunch of stuff. He just sort of surprises us. So I think we are probably just a few days away from some type of a trailer, some type of an announcement, maybe just a trailer with a release date, or maybe just more gameplay. Let us see it. There's coming events as well that they could be appearing at, so they could announce something, announce a release date, and say, hey, we can't wait to share more in the coming days or at this event. In any case, Light No Fire is one of my most anticipated games, and I think it's going to be one of the games we talk about for years to come, if not in the same exact way, the way we talk about No Man's Sky. But those are just my thoughts. Now it's time to hear your thoughts. And you can do that in a comment below, or you can follow the live stream that follows this video. It usually hits a card here. It's also mentioned in a pinned comment below. And if you like this content and you want more like it, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.